proposed those SACRA records with VA administrative databases to really establish veterans who reported sexual assault while in the military, and also who's enrolled in VA for healthcare, utilization of healthcare and benefits, like housing and vocational benefits, and is also able to kind of break that down by those who've also reported MST while enrolled in VA. And that's an ongoing, I believe they're getting updated data for that. I would refer any questions to Dr. Clegg, but really important project looking at both DOD and VA. And then there's an MST coordinated national review. So Dr. Julian and Sam Cave have been involved in this pending study. It's in editing right now. So really in March of 2020, this project was initiated following a couple of OIG reports that preceded a February 2020 HVAC hearing. And I'll get a little bit more detail here. They conducted a survey. So this was a survey-based project where MST coordinators throughout PHA were surveyed. So 136 of 156 MST coordinators completed the survey, as well as visit with contact in nearly all and then the team also conducted follow-up interviews with a more targeted group, so 18 MST coordinators, to assess adequacy of time dedicated to MST duties, procedures for honoring patient preferences like gender preference, and the physical environment, and also the culture of safety. The team was also pretty innovative in that this all occurred while COVID was happening, and so used technology to get photos to see what waiting areas looked at, things like that. Preliminary findings, like I said, this is still in editing, but preliminary findings show that nearly 40% of the MST coordinators reported not having adequate resources. And the top three of those resources folks wished they had were more dedicated time, administrative assistance, and funding, and more materials. They also reported that the most commonly received patient complaint was discomfort in waiting areas that were shared with patients of the opposite gender. So moving on to IFVAP, so we also have an IFVAP national review going on that has a kind of complicated history that came out of a request by Chairman Nakano to review psychiatric care of patients. While we were doing that hotline, really identified concerns with how staff responded to that patient's reports of IPD and the patient's spouse's reports of IPD.
Guess what?
So
it was
frozen,
had invincibility, like the time
as we were conducting that second hotline, really realized that
so many
this is an even broader issue. So as we were talking to leaders in the IFVAP program, identified concerns about implementation and oversight of the program more broadly. And so we proposed and initiated a national review. This is also pending. So we are at the tail end of survey development, hoping to deploy that in the next week or two. The objectives are really to determine compliance with IFVAP implementation, to see how well across the VA system this program is being implemented, to assess coordinator duties and perception of resources, so pretty parallel to the MST project. And similarly, VISN IFVAP champions time and implementation, monitoring, and communication. So our survey plans to deploy to 162 facility IFVAP coordinators and all 18 VISN IFVAP champions, and look forward to sharing the results when we have them. And so finally, I just want to wrap up with some resources. We have VA resources here. This Make the Connection has a wealth of resources. And also just want to highlight, I know Stephanie mentioned that there are women's programs available. So there's a program locator there for residential programs for PTSD and substance use to focus on women's issues. And then the Military Sexual Trauma site has both handouts and education materials for providers and patients alike. And there's this Beyond MST mobile app. So I have to admit, not looking at that thoroughly, but it looks really cool. You know, it's part of VA's effort to get on board with the technology that vets may be using, and has tools for symptom management and quality of life, and to track progress, as well as educational material. And it's appropriate for people who are engaged in mental health and also people who are not. And then finally, some community resources. So this Stop Sexual Violence is a CDC technical package that also is just a wealth of information. And this was also shared in Secretary McDonough's email. And then RAIN is our largest organization related to sexual violence, and provides resources in both English and Spanish. And then the domestic violence hotline there. And with that, I'm going to open it up for questions, but just to Stephanie, because I have to hop off to
This is so annoying. Like, GTG bye. This is not actually trying. No, you don't. Jump. You have to jump. Then we jump.
Are there any questions or comments, feedback from the audience?
Jump. You have to. Why is it so annoying? Please, no.
I should double check. Can people hear me?
Affirmative.
Okay,
Let's
good.
try this now. Wait, if my brain even tried.
Okay, well, I would just like to commend the efforts that were put into this presentation.
I don't know.
Thank you to all of you, Stephanie, Kelly, and Bert, for participating and sharing this. It was excellent information, and obviously fuels much of the work that many of us are involved in right now. So thank you. And certainly if people have questions or comments after the fact, I know Stephanie, Kelly, and Amber would be happy to entertain those through email, call, whatever. So thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we will meet again next week.